Hi there, I'm Leanne from Reboot Mindset Coaching. I want to have a chat with you today about a phenomenon that happens in so many workplaces, and I reckon it'll be happening in yours as well. You know the one, you're sitting at a meeting and everyone's having a bit of a chat, and then you as a leader throw out the question. And that question is, so what can we do to be better? What is it that we need to do so that you're happier here? And everyone goes, oh, no, we're good. Everything's fine. And then you as a leader think, nailed it. Hashtag winning as a leader. So you're writing your notes, you're closing the meeting, you're thanking everybody for their transparency and their support and their suggestions. The meeting's over, and then it begins. Then it happens. It happens. And it happens every single time. It is the the hallway meeting. You know what it looks like. Oh my God. Can you believe that they asked that? I mean, what the hell? Like, do they really expect us to share what's really going on? Like they even care? Like anyone's going to listen? And then you've got someone else going, oh, I know. Oh, it's tough. Like, remember that time that so-and-so said something, oh, well, what happened to them? Yeah. What do you reckon? Oh, I'm okay. I don't want to get involved, but yeah. Well, I reckon something needs to be done here, and I reckon that we need to do, all get together and do some sort of big anonymous complaint. Actually, yeah, the staff satisfaction survey is coming up. Let's all put our heads together. You know that manager, that one that we want to get rid of? Let's hatch a plan. Yeah, we should do that. But shouldn't we go and say something to them first? Oh, don't be stupid. As if they would listen to us. Nah, we need to do this properly. And you know what? We can be a lot more honest when our names aren't on it, because, yeah, I'm just freaking over this. My last job was exactly the same. And mine too. They seem to be everywhere. I know. And how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this? Let me pull up a chair and I'm going to tell you how. Because what you're dealing with here, let me adjust my camera. What you're dealing with here has got nothing to do with the workplace. It's got nothing to do with you. What you're dealing with here is the age-old problem of 6 inches. 6 inches is your problem. Not the culture, not the employee benefits, not the words on your staff satisfaction survey, not the monthly meetings that you hold to check in on everyone, to have a happy, joy bonding experience. No, you're dealing with 6 inches, here to here. And it's in that 6 inches where the damage gets done. But I want to make it clear to you that it's not deliberate. People don't even know that their 6 inches have gone rogue. They've got no idea of it. It is their normal. A bit like you get born into a certain culture and you grow up speaking that language. It's the only language that you know. If somebody suddenly says to you, I want you to start speaking Latvian, they're not going to go, oh, okay, no worries. They can't. And that's what you're dealing with here to here. And every single bit of workplace drama is happening here. And you cannot change it. You cannot make people change. But what you can do is you can inspire them to change. How do you do that? It is not by pep talks. It is not by free Lamington Wednesday. It is not by, hey, let's all go down the pub for a beer together. No. Because when you do that stuff, sure, you make people feel good, but you also teach them that it's your job to make them feel good. And it's, let's face it, it's exhausting. And I mean, a lot of businesses don't have the revenue to throw this stuff around. And really, whatever happened to the days when an employer got to actually give an employee a job? What happened to the days when an employer was able to actually set the job description for an employee to follow? What's happened? This is exactly what I teach you and your team, and I can guarantee you a shift between this year and this year, not by performance managing, not by taking people aside and giving them feedback and support. No, you do it by giving people education about the cycle that they don't know they're caught in. They don't know. And in fact, anybody that is neck deep in this cycle has no idea about it. But you know what happens? When I do training and I teach this cycle, you should hear the aha moments dropping like lead. You should see people's facial expressions going, seriously, I'll never get sick of it. It happens all the time. And why is it so profound? Why do I think it's so profound? Because I was stuck in it for over 40 years and I had no idea. I just thought I was surrounded by assholes. I just thought that I had no value. I just thought, what's the point? Nobody listens. I'll just work harder. I'll prove my worth. I'll do extra hours. I'll be indispensable because then people will value me. And then when they don't, I'll just get shitty. I'll just clam up. I'll retreat. I'll go, fuck you. And I'll keep all my best bits at home. And I'll just start shit in the hallways. I didn't know what I was doing. But once I learned, by God, did things change. And they changed not within years, not within months, not within weeks or days, but within minutes. Within minutes. And that cycle is the dreaded drama cycle. And in that cycle, you have 3 players. Your persecutor. The persecutor is, I'm okay. You're the problem. Don't bring me a problem. Bring me a solution. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Talk to the hand. I don't want to know. The persecutor is all about my way or no way. You need to make me feel better. The persecutor is a professional problem hunter. In fact, every time you solve a problem, they find a new one, just like that, because they're whizzes at it. They really, really are. And you'll hear things from them like, oh, I know who the problem is. It's never them, though. It's never them. And they will hold up things and they will accuse you of making them feel stupid, and they will tell you what you're doing wrong. And then as a manager, you know what's really scary is they come to you and appear to be your best friend. They will give you insider knowledge about what's happening out there, and it will be delivered so compassionately, so empathetically, and you will feel that they are a real asset to you. But do you know what's really happening? They then go out there and they let everybody know that me and the boss are like this. And this is what changes the dynamics, because what you see is very, very different to what they see. But you know what? There is something that underpins the persecutor, what creates a persecutor, that when you understand, you'll change them like that really quickly, because there's something running them that is so simple, so simple. And no, it's not a need for control, because even though they fight for it, how do they go with that? Not real well. But you know, on the other side of a persecutor, what does a persecutor need? Think of a movie plot. Think of the persecutor as the villain. What does the villain create? Yes, it creates a victim. Now, little disclaimer here, I don't really align with the term victim, because I believe that it has been really cheapened in recent times. There are people that are victims of sexual assault, of domestic violence, of fraud, of bullying. These are the victims. However, society these days has almost like mollycoddled it and gone, oh, you're just being a victim. Well, I have an issue with that. So even though this cycle refers to this role as the victim, I would like to think of it more as a passenger, because kudos and respect to those people who actually deserve that title of being a victim. It is not an insult, and I don't like it being used as an insult. Anyway, where was I? So we create the victim, aka the passenger. I've even heard one person call it, one of my clients said, oh, it's like we're the prey. And I'm like, I like that. Yes, you are like the prey of the villain, of the persecutor. And what happens is the victim, the prey, the passenger just is like the beach ball on the ocean, just goes wherever it's pushed, has no ability to change direction, is just waiting for something to come up and bite it, because it always does. Now, in a workplace, your victims are going to appear as your underperformers. They're going to appear as the people that just work almost to rule, but not quite there. They're the people that don't contribute. They're the people that just drag themselves through the day. And they're also the people that when you say to them, hi, how you going? You go, oh, what did I ask that for? Because you just know what's about to happen. Oh, let me tell you. So what happens is when anything turns to shit, your victims are going to go, everything's fine. Everything's fine. No, I'm good. Because they don't have that resilience or that ability to go, you know what? I've got some feedback for you, which I think is going to help you. No, that would actually get to about here, that they would choke on those words and it wouldn't go any further. The victims are the ones that are going to just drain and make a lot of other staff go, how come I'm paying the same as them, or I get paid the same as them, but they can get away with doing sweet FA and I've got to pick up the slack? What is with that? Your victims are the ones that you just can't motivate because they believe that life is hard. They believe that don't get too excited because you're only going to get your hopes dashed. Just think the worst of everyone because then you'll never be disappointed. They're exhausting. You've probably got friends or family that fall into this as well. You know the ones when they call you, you see their name on your phone and your soul just leaves your body because you know what this conversation's about to be like. Not great listeners either, because they'll use everything that you say as a segue to go, oh, yeah, that's like when I, and then off they go on their tangent again. Difficult. They're not going to contribute to that meeting where you go, hey, is there anything that we can do to make you happier or make things better or easier? They're going to go, and in fact, they're not going to say anything at all because they know that if they just keep quiet, someone else is going to jump in. And this is the other role in our drama triangle, the rescuer, the hero. Now, the victims know that if they don't know the answer, all they need to do is be quiet. Because when they struggle, it's like the cry of persecutor is hassling me. Oh my God, I'm being asked a question. I've got something difficult. I can't do it. And then all of a sudden, the rescuer swoops in with their cape and goes, never fear, I am here. I will save the day. And they'll contribute some options to that victim to actually consider, well, maybe it could be like this, or let me give you an example. Maybe it could be like that, or maybe it could be this. And then the victim will go, oh, yeah. And then the rescuer, aka the hero, becomes the voice for the oppressed. So actually, the victims know that the more they struggle, the less they need to do because the rescuers are going to come in and save the day. So why wouldn't you underperform? Why wouldn't you tag out? Why wouldn't you just go, oh, if that means that someone's going to come and help you and do it for you? Sadly, when we're in that victim cycle, and I mean absolutely no disrespect to anybody here because I know how hard it is because I've been there. That's where we get diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Now, there is a lot of anxiety and depression that people don't freaking want. They want to F it off and they do not want it and they do everything they can to get rid of it. But it's almost like programming. It's part of their makeup. But there is another form of anxiety and depression which people get diagnosed with, and it's a label. So we use things like my anxiety, or that makes me anxious, or I can't do that. So what happens is people become very afraid to actually poke that. And the person with it goes, oh, so really, I don't want to get rid of my anxiety because my anxiety actually allows me to do less. Now, no point is that person deliberately pulling their anxiety at all. They don't like it. They don't like it as much as you don't like it. But it's part of their programming. They've been taught that from a very young age. Remember how I said earlier, you grow up speaking one language and it's the only language you know? Well, that's their language. They didn't choose it. They got given it. It's a label they had slapped on them and they've just grown to fit it. That's all. A bit like you put a fish in a fish tank, it'll grow to the size of the fish tank. We will grow to the size of the labels. And some of those labels are pretty fucking huge. Let's be honest. So anyway, the rescuer comes in. These are the people in your workplace who come in early. Then they stay late. Now, if you are the owner, then I guess that kind of goes with the territory. So you can excuse yourself here. As a business owner myself, I know how that feels. And that is actually just, it goes with the territory in the early days, doesn't it? But the rescuers on your workforce, they are the ones that they're going to work harder than everyone else. They're going to fill in all the gaps. When the victims don't perform, the rescuers will come in and fix it. They will see holes in things and they will fix them before the holes even appear. They are your best workers. So you think, but they're not. We often think that it's the bullies and the persecutors on the drama triangle that are the most toxic, but no, it's actually the rescuers. Without realizing, because you know what? They're actually creating these other two roles. The rescuers are creating them. The rescuers actually force people to stay in that victim role because it teaches them that when you struggle, I'm going to love you. I'm going to make you valued. I'm going to be here for you. We teach people to become so dependent on us as rescuers, even the bullies, because when the bullies are assholes or bitches, the rescuers are the ones that try and make things better. They make excuses for them. So they teach the bullies and the rescuers that, oh, that's just who they are. And they teach the victims to, that's okay. That's okay. I know it's hard for you. Let me help you. And then it goes one step deeper where the rescuers start to see the problems of these two before they even happen. And they solve problems before they exist, which means that neither the victim or the persecutor get an opportunity to be better because they're being rewarded. Happens everywhere. Sadly, though, your rescuers who are your absolute people pleasers, they can take a fair bit of ownership over the business, especially if they've been there for a fairly long time. They know how things should be done. They have a certain level of hierarchy. They like to model, they like to mentor, and they like to fix things. And the reason why is it's because they're how they determine their worth. Their worth is determined not by who they are, but by what they do. So the more they do, the more they're worth, and the more you need them in their mind. But all you're doing is creating a really, really toxic cycle. Now, when these three all mix together and create a melting pot, it can look like this. Oh, I see that you're struggling with that. Do you want me to show you a tip that someone taught me, which saves so much time with that? And then someone goes, what? Up in their head, they're thinking, what? Am I doing it wrong? What, you're saying I'm stupid? And this whole snowball of dysfunction starts to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, you've got all these factions, you've got all these silos, you've got all this bullshittery happening in the workplace that nobody even knows what to do anything with because they can't really identify the starting point. They don't know what the actual problem is because there's just so many of them. What if there was a way for you to actually prevent all those problems and for you not to actually have to do all the work and to find the answers? That's what my business can do for you, because culture change is not driven by outsiders. It's driven on the inside. If you teach your people to get out of the drama triangle, to get out of it, they change their internal culture. And you know what happens then? They show up to work happier. They contribute. They treat people better. They go home more energized for their families. At the friends' barbecue on the Sunday, they say great things about your business instead of terrible things, which means that you get more CVs dropped off because everybody actually wants to come work for you because, hey, you sound like you're cool. Accountability underpins everything. And until you inspire your people to have it, and until you inspire yourself to have it, because yes, I'm sorry, but you are part of the problem, nothing will change. Nothing will change. But this is not about saying, oh, you're that and you're that and you're that. Oh, I know where you are on the triangle. No, it's none of that, because you know what? We're all on the triangle. In fact, triangle, we fill every single role, every single role. You, me, her, him, they, them, everyone. We can do a lap around that drama triangle in less than 10 seconds. Oh my God, I had such a shit day. Oh my God. Persecutor is the shit day. I feel like shit. Victim. Oh, rescuer. I need a drink. So then you go to the bottle shop and then you drink the whole bottle. And then you go self-persecutor. Why did I do that? Why do I always do that? Victim. Oh, now I feel like crap. I'm going to be useless. Oh, I can't give up this drink. Rescuer. Fuck it. I'm not doing anything today. I'm going to call in sick. I'm going to sit on the lounge and watch Netflix, and then I'll just quit on Monday. We all do it. I do it. This knowledge is not going to stop you going there, but you know what? It's going to get you out of it really, really, really quick, because you know what? There's another triangle. And this triangle is where the magic happens. This triangle is where people show up and go, what can I do to be better? This triangle is where people come up and go, what am I assuming that's actually total shit? This triangle is where people go, what do I need and how can I get it? This triangle is where people go, what's the first step? How can I start? How can I do this? They bring their creativity to work. They bring their passion to work. They bring their laughter and their happiness and their absolute joy to work. And it's so much easier, so much easier, so much easier. And the message that I want to leave you on today is this, and it's probably the most important message that I have discovered with all this whole triangle business, is that you are not the problem. You are not the problem. They are not the problem. She's not the problem. He's not the problem. The triangle is the problem. You have never been the problem, ever. Your partner, your kids, your mother-in-law, the people you work with, your customers, social media, none of it is the problem. Never, ever has been. The triangle is the problem. And when we're caught in it, life turns to shit. Absolute shit. Now, I would like to come in and teach you and your team about the triangle and how to get out of it. And it actually doesn't take that long. We don't need to do a year full of performance coaching. I just spend a little bit of time with them. And I can do it in several ways. 3 ways, actually. Way number 1, and I'm not going to give you all of the details here because, hey, you've watched me now for a long time. Can't see the time, but you've watched me for a long time. So I just want to give you a real nutshell. Way number 1, I'll teach you. I'll teach you. You and I will do some work one-on-one over 12 sessions held fortnightly, and I will absolutely get you out of that triangle, setting boundaries, leading your team, piece of cake. The other way is I can do a full day of training with your team, and I will take them on a guided tour around the drama triangle and then show them the doorway to go through to get out of it and easily into the other one. And not only that, at the end of that day, I will help them create an accountability statement. And that's going to look like this. They are all going to decide as a group, these are 10 things that we are no longer going to do. These are 10 things that we are going to make a commitment to doing more of. So it could be we're no longer going to blame other people, gossip about other people, fall into the victim cycle, talk about people. And then the other things could be we're actually going to have the hard conversations. We're going to be open and vulnerable because we teach you how to do that. We're actually going to step up and be aware of the impact that we have on others. We are going to bring all of these psychosocial hazards in and be actually aware of them rather than just go more fucking legislation. So I can do that as a one-day training event. And then, of course, we can build on that if you would like to. The other way that I can do it is I can give you a taster, a little tiny bite-sized taster in 1 hour. And these are going great guns, I tell you. The 1 hour Harmony at Work series, we actually run them on 20 topics, just little 1 hour bite-sized morsels of deliciousness that get your team the tools and then get them back on the tools so that you don't have to take them out of the office for a whole day, which the whole day out is a massive, great investment because think of what it gives you. But if time is problematic for you, we can do little 1 hour sessions and the game can change. Absolutely change because your people are not the problem. It's their 6 inches that the problem is. It's their 6 inches that is the problem. And it's because they're living in the drama triangle. Let's get rid of that triangle, put in the other one. You seriously will believe that everyone's on some sort of happiness drug. You won't believe the change. People will stop taking things personally. Things will stop. People will stop showing up as bullies, as underperformers, as control freaks. And life will be so much easier. You will improve every single relationship that you have, including the one with yourself. Imagine what would happen to your workplace if everyone liked themselves. Like a miracle, tell you. No, it's not. It's actually just understanding the drama triangle. So please reach out to me if you would like some information on how I can support you with this. And I will surprise you at just how quick, easy, and affordable it is. And you're going to be thinking, why the fuck didn't I do this years ago? And then you're going to go, oh my God, I can see now. Life is so much easier. You can find me at rebootyourlife.com.au. My name is Leanne Shaw, and I am the Senior Life Coach, Senior Team Building Trainer, and Leadership Consultant here at Reboot Mindset Coaching. Let's do this. Just imagine what will be possible for you, your people, and your business, and your bottom line. Talk to you soon.